Have you ever cringed at a celebrity interview? Today I'm going to be reacting to celebrities flipping out at disrespectful interviewers. This is the most awkward celebrity interviews. It's going to be very interesting. I've definitely seen a few. The ones that can definitely... the ones that come to the top of my mind, there's one with Tom Cruise. Kanye is always an interesting one. So let's get into it. Here we go.
Sometimes interviewers can go too far with their questions, which can cause celebrities to flip out. Like when this interviewer enraged boxing legend Mike Tyson by abruptly bringing up his criminal past.
We know you were convicted. This could hurt his
campaign.
How would you respond to that? Hey, I don't know who said that. You're the only one I heard say that. You know what I mean? And I don't have no comment to that. You know, because it's negative and you're being negative.
Although the interviewer quickly...
Did you guys see... Wait, I just want to go back. Do you look at his hand once he starts to say that? You ready? Watch.
This could hurt his campaign. How would you
that kind of like rub on his hand? I'm not like one of those, body language people, but I can tell Mike was holding back with that one. Sheesh, man.
Appeared noticeably anxious while interviewing Robert Downey Jr. as he prepared to ask a question he must have known was inappropriate.
Yeah, well, okay, well then let me just ask you a few more questions and you can answer them if you want to and not if you don't want to.
He already looks so annoyed.
Well, I think we've got 3 more minutes on our agreement.
Your foot's starting to jump a little bit. You better get to your next question.
Oh my.
Despite RDJ's clear agitation, interviewer Krishnan Guru...
This guy, I feel like, is known for having very awkward celebrity interviews, specifically with Quentin Tarantino. I wonder if that is going to be on here.
Worthy persisted, finally crossing a line when he asked about the actor's troubled relationship with his father.
The reason I'm asking about the past is that you've talked in other interviews again about your relationship with your father and the role of all of that in the dark periods you entered and taking drugs and drinking and all of that. I just wondered whether you think you're free of all of that.
Look at that face. He was like the most like serious face, and then he's like, dude, he definitely wanted to punch him there.
Or whether that's still something.
I'm sorry, I really don't. What are we doing?
Downey was clearly caught off guard by the deeply personal line of questioning, eventually deciding he had enough and abruptly ending the interview.
Do
you see what? Okay, it's just getting a little dinosaur in your...
No, look, I don't want to do that.
Wow.
Krishnan has displayed a pattern of provoking intense reactions from his interviewees. Just look at what happened when he sat across film director Quentin Tarantino.
Oh my.
But why are you so sure that there's no link between enjoying movie violence and enjoying real violence?
I'm going to tell you why I'm so sure. Do not ask me a question like that. I'm not biting. I refuse your...
So that's what I feel like with a lot of these awkward celebrity interviews, is that the interviewee knows that, the celebrity is going to get agitated. They're going to get angry. They're not going to like the question. And therefore they're trying to get that like hook, like that really awkward moment. But it must be so cringe being an interviewer and knowing that you're going to create that like atmosphere where they don't like you. Like, I don't know if I'd want to sit in a room and be that person to ask a question like that.
Why?
Because I refuse your question. I'm not your slave and you're not my master. You can't make me dance to your tune. I'm not a monkey.
I can't make you answer anything. I'm asking you interesting
questions. And I'm saying I refuse.
Okay, well,
nice.
That's fine.
An exasperated
The next time someone asks me a question that I don't want to answer, I'm just gonna be like, I refuse, and just do that.
Tarantino would succinctly explain the reason for his frustration as Krishnan continued to fumble his words.
No, but you haven't fleshed it out.
It's not my job to flesh it out.
No, it's my job to try and ask you to.
And I'm shutting your butt down.
And that's entirely your.
This is a commercial from my movie.
But you haven't said why you think there's no relationship.
It's none of your damn business what I think about that.
Well, it's my job to ask you why you think that.
And I'm saying no. And I'm shutting you down.
As Krishnan...
Yeah, I give credit to Quentin Tarantino for doing that. I'm shutting you down. That's a great That's great. Quentin Tarantino, he's made some great movies.
A now infuriated Tarantino would continue to break the fourth wall as he tore down the mainstream media's business model in spectacular fashion.
And I have explained even what you're talking about. I'm just not giving it to you. Well, because I don't want to, because I've done it already. I have explained this many times in the last 20 years. I just refuse to repeat myself over and over again because you want me to.
That's fair.
For you and your show and your ratings.
Well, no, it's not about our ratings.
No, it is.
That's interesting. That point that he just made, that it's not about our ratings. Why would you be asking those questions then? What are you trying to get out of Quentin Tarantino, or just really anyone, right? Like, if you're going to ask that type of question, you clearly have a motive for asking, and the reason is, again, you're trying to promote, get more views for you, for your company, whatever it may be, news channel, and that's awesome that Quentin is
it's about you want me to say it for you. For your show, this show, right here, right now.
On the other hand, comedian Bill Burr would fire back with his trademark irreverent humor when a disrespectful interviewer implied that his jokes could be considered offensive.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far. You know.
As far as what?
Well, they thought that maybe you were being disrespectful to the Christian religion. I'm telling you, you need to Google.
Oh, good Lord. We did maybe 2 jokes about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
Burr, however, could not hide his frustration when interviewers at an Atlanta radio station acted both disrespectfully and unprofessionally towards him.
And this is Bill Burr.
That's your question? So close?
Burr's irritation grew as the amateurish interview dragged on, especially when the host demanded he perform like a trained monkey.
He's at the punchline, he's in town, and you're a funny guy. You've got these routines in your head, so I figure I'll toss you a mic and you go.
And I'm going to do stand-up in front of 9 people in a radio station? No, I'm not doing that.
Burr's anger became increasingly more visible on his expression when another host interjected, implying that Burr was responsible for how badly the interview was going.
I was trying to explain to Bill how you put the mic, warn him that you're going to put the mic in his face without asking him a question. Be prepared for that. Apparently he didn't take me seriously.
But when host Southside Steve began shoving his microphone into Burr's face to intentionally annoy him, the comedian decided he would take matters into his own hands and hijack the interview.
Do you like my mic?
No, I don't. I don't.
Please. Oh my God.
Is that comfortable? Is this uncomfortable?
Why is he getting that close with the mic? Like, you as an interviewer, isn't your job to not make it awkward? Like, isn't that the point? Unless if these people are just intentionally trying to aggravate a celebrity, like, that is pretty cringe. Like, look how close that is to his face. Oh my. Let's skip forward. Will Smith. I want to see Tom Cruise. Will Smith. Always slapping people.
Hollywood megastar Tom Cruise would unleash his fury on an interviewer who pranked him during a red carpet interview.
Yes.
Ew, dude.
No, why would you do that?
That's gross.
Why would you do that? Come here. Why would you do that? What's so funny about that?
Oh my.
It's ridiculous. Do you like making less of people? Is that what
Determined to confront the offending reporter, Cruise made it clear to his team that he would not move on until he gave the prankster a piece of his mind.
Oh wow.
That's really... Hey, no. Don't run away. Don't run away. No, let me have it. I don't care. That's incredibly rude. I'm here giving you an interview and answering your questions, and you do something really nasty. You're a jerk.
Meanwhile,
it's like, where's the line between, like, you know, you're a celebrity and then you're doing an interview with them and then you are purposely going way out of line to get content. Like, they're not dumb. They know exactly why someone would do that, is that they're trying to get that exposure. But what makes it awkward is that moment where the interviewer knows that what they're about to do and what they're about to say is going to just change the entire dynamic of it. Like, it's just, it's so far the most cringe one was definitely that beginning one
Despite a remarkable fitness transformation, actor Jonah Hill was mocked to his face about his weight, which he understandably did not appreciate.
Are you the fat guy in Hollywood still, or is everybody like looking at you and like, oh wow, you know, this is great, now you're healthy?
Do you have any other questions that are smart?
Yet in what can only be described as one of the most repugnant interview questions of all time, adult film actress Tasha Rain was subjected to an extremely inappropriate inquiry by the insufferable Southside Steve.
All right, and if we could stop for a second, I want to say to you, you have a very cute, soft, like a girly voice.
Thank you.
A lot of people say the reason people have girly voices is something bad happened to them at that age. Were you at an early age, or were you fine?
That's the creepiest question I've ever heard.
My
and
God.
no, but it's so inappropriate. It's not.
Jeez, that is definitely a cringe question, regardless of who you're interviewing. That's not only like inappropriate. That is gross. I mean, Jonah Hill. Just going back, Jonah Hill dealt with that somewhat well. This is I do like that she is like openly saying. I probably would have just ended the interview right there, to be honest. It's that cringe, but horrible.
Funny.
Well, I had a girlfriend once that talked like that, and it turned out 6 years old. It was horrible.
Ew, I don't want to talk about this.
Actress Scarlett Johansson would similarly fire back at
So
a
beautiful.
disrespectful interviewer who thought it would be a good idea to ask her if she wore underwear while filming The Avengers.
Now, were you able to wear undergarments?
You're like the fifth person that's asking
Well, no,
that to me.
because
What is going on? What?
Oh my
When did
God.
people start asking each other about in interviews about their underwear?
After receiving pushback from the interviewer, Johansson would double down, clearly expressing her exasperation with the line of questioning.
Is it inappropriate?
To ask somebody what kind of underpants they wear?
I didn't ask you what kind.
You just asked me if I was wearing any. Was I wearing underwear? I mean, gosh, ask Joss.
This next clip is even more cringeworthy, as a local news anchor mistakenly confuses Samuel L. Jackson with another black actor.
Oh no.
Super Bowl commercial. Did you get a lot of reaction to that Super Bowl commercial?
What Super Bowl commercial?
Oh, you know what? I've admit my mistake.
See, you're as crazy as the people on Twitter.
Right.
I'm not Lawrence Fishburne.
That's my fault. I know that. That was my fault. My mistake. You know what?
We don't all look alike.
Wow.
You're trying to be all black and famous.
You
but
are
we all don't look
guilty.
alike.
Wow.
I am guilty.
You're busted.
In this next
Oh
explosive
my.
incident, actor Mel
How do you move forward with that kind of, like, Samuel L. Jackson, again, so much class, like, dealing with it right, but how do you move on from a moment like that? Like, if I was a news anchor and that happened, I'd want to just walk off stage. Because, again, you should know what you're doing. Like, you should do your research. You should know. You shouldn't just, like, it's just crazy. There's a lot of cringe interviews out there. This is wild.
Gibson would flip out on interviewer Dean Richards when Richards unexpectedly brought up the controversies from Gibson's career.
Do you think that the public will perceive you any differently after all that's been in the news about you?
What are you referring to specifically?
Referring to the the drinking problems, referring to what's been called the anti-Semitic rant, referring all those things. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay, so that's almost 4 years ago, dude. I mean, I've moved on. I guess you haven't.
Despite Gibson's clear aggravation, Richards continued to press him, leading to a tense stare-down with the actor.
I'm just wondering if you think that the public has moved on and will perceive you in the same light.
Well, I certainly hope so. You know, it is a while back, and I've done all the necessary mea culpas. So, let's move on, dude. Come on.
The way he looked at him, he was like clearly, like, it's interesting, some of these celebrities, the way that they deal with some of these questions. And I'm sure this is not the first time. They've probably had to deal with so many different, like, inappropriate, cringe, all these strange questions. And clearly, like, some of them are just obviously really bad. I want to see this one right here, so let's watch.
Well, okay, but I mean, maybe you're a shitty cameraman.
In this next painfully awkward interview, actor Jesse Eisenberg was caught off guard when host Romina Puga demanded he perform a magic trick for her.
Do you know the comedian Carrot Top?
Yes, horrible.
Well,
You were like the carrot top of interviewers.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and it's a good thing.
Wow.
It's a good thing.
Cry now.
No, don't cry now. Cry after the interview's over. Because otherwise I'll look like I'm responsible for it. Okay, so.
Well, you are.
Well, I don't want to know that though.
Okay,
Okay,
well,
so-
you know now.
I said your name into camera. What else do you want from me?
A magic trick.
Okay. All right.
So we can wrap this up.
Hey.
Wow.
You're on my time.
And while he did attempt,
I mean, like, I don't think he's saying that in like a rude way, but I think it is like she is coming here to interview them, especially when they do these like media days. Like, there's multiple different people that are interviewing. It's not just that one person. So she's kind of acting like, it's her, but she kind of has this very flirtatious kind of vibe. But I don't know. It's like she's just making it cringe. Like, every one of these interviewers makes the situation cringe, and it's just
entertain Puga with a card trick, her standoffish demeanor hindered the interview from improving.
This should be your card then?
Yes.
Really?
No.
It's not. Is it your card? I mean, it doesn't matter.
No, it's not.
I don't need to be amazed. I already know how it's done.
It's not.
Okay. Was that your card?
Ooh.
See? Are you happy you
Yeah.
lied to
Yes.
the point of almost not appreciating that?
This next interview
Vince
immediately got off to a
McMahon.
rough start
And a lot of
when
heat
sports
right now.
commentator Bob Costas opened his conversation with WWE founder Vince McMahon by highlighting the failures of the XFL, a then new football league created by McMahon that ultimately went bust within a year of its debut.
Here now, Vince McMahon. Thanks for coming, Vince. Can you guarantee me right now that there will be a year 2 for the XFL?
What a ridiculous statement.
Oh my god.
It's not a statement, it's a question.
It's a question. I beg your pardon. It's a question. No.
The exchange only got more heated as the
Oh,
interview went
jeez.
on, with McMahon seeming on the brink of hitting Costas over the head with a steel chair.
If this turns out to be a grand-scale failure...
You want to let me finish here for a second, pal? Shut your mouth and let me answer the question, all right? I'll be happy to answer.
Nice.
You're in a situation that you don't know what you're talking about.
Meanwhile, radio host...
Sheesh. I mean, Vince McMahon, that guy has a lot of skeletons in the closet. But, I mean, I wouldn't try to mess with someone like that, to be honest. Bob Costas clearly was very uncomfortable. It's like, you're supposed to know how to make that balance between asking good questions, but also not getting to a point where the person that you're interviewing is going to feel really awkward, really defensive. Like, it's just like, what are you doing? But anyways, I'm gonna wrap up the video right here. Let me know what you guys think. What is the most cringe interview you've ever seen? Comment down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Peace out. Bye.